Light and peace, light and peace, brothers and sisters. Welcome to a special topic from the OahspeCollegeUniversity College University today. OahspeCollegeUniversity teaching today will be angel ambassadors. Who are angel ambassadors? The OahspeCollegeUniversity describe Ethereal angels that come down from the higher heaven as ambassadors. And what they primarily do is come to manage our world. These special, unique beings come down every 3,000 years. Some of them do come during the sub-cycles. So I just want you to go to the OahspeCollegeUniversity for a minute and identify these special, unique angels and give a certain account of what they do. So I'm going to go to the book of Jehovah, chapter 8, verse 14 to 15. Verse 14. And when the inhabitation of the earth shall have been completed, and the nations shall have established civil communion around from east to west, and in that same time I will bring the earth into the Cosman era, and my angel ambassadors, you hear that, gods and goddesses, shall render up the records of this heavenly kingdom. This is interesting. So one of the functions of angel ambassador is they come down from the higher heaven, Ethereal, and represent the creator. Just like you have an American ambassador live in a part of a country in Africa. So I'm going to say Nigeria, for example. He comes from the United States and traveled to Nigeria and stay there for a period of time and represent America. So that's a United States ambassador living in Nigeria. And also in America, they have a Nigeria ambassador who represents Nigeria for a period of time. So what this verse is saying is that the Creator is saying that my angel ambassador, gods and goddesses, shall render up the records of this heavenly kingdom. So when they finish what they do, they have a record, and all these records are sent back to Ethereal for record keeping. Now, if you remember in my previous video, I did a video about the libraries of heaven. That's your record right there. The angel ambassadors have to keep that record in the libraries of heaven. Verse 15. Through them I will reveal to mortals the creation of my words and the history, you see that, and dominion of my gods and lords on the earth, even from this day down to the time of Cosman. Cosman started in the year 1848. So we're currently in the Cosman cycle that started in the year 1848. What's amazing about this verse 14 and 15 is that the angel ambassadors keep the record of these libraries of heaven. They keep these records, and they keep it in the libraries of heaven, so that in the future, any human, any angel can look into the record. So that's one of the functions of the angel ambassadors. So I'm going to go to the book of Judgment, chapter 1, verse 3. Book of Judgment, chapter 1, verse 3. Verse 3. Jehovah, creator of all things, spoke to me, your God, saying, hear me, O God, my ambassador of the earth and our heavens, for this your season. You see that? Like I said previously, very easy. You have an American ambassador that dwell in the country of Nigeria for a season, for a period of time. And in verse 3, book of Judgment, chapter 1 is saying here is that God is identified as an ambassador to the Creator only for a season. You see that? And so for those of you who think that we have one God and God has been ruling us from the beginning of time. You're wrong, because here clears the confusion that God is an ambassador, and he's an ambassador to the creator, and it's only for a season. He only represents the creator for a season, for a period of time, and after that he gives the mantle to the next person. Just like the ambassador, the United States ambassador in Nigeria has to give the mantle to the next person. This is the same way. You see that? Let me just continue. Hear me, O God, my ambassador of the earth and our heavens. For this your season, obey my mandates and teach mortals and the angels of the lower heaven to know me and to rejoice my creation. You see, right here, they create this chapter, the verse 3, I just identify two things. One, the lower heaven, and one, the higher heaven. The higher heaven is where the ambassadors come from, and that's called ethereal. The lower heaven is described as atmosphere. And you see that? And rejoice in my creation. The time has come when the light of your inspiration and your angel shall extend around the world earth in our heavens also. You see, here's another function for ambassador, the angel's ambassador, and the title given to them also is God. And this God serves the creator for a season, and right here in verse 3 is identified that this God, this ambassador, is in charge of our world and the heavens, and those heavens are is in three parts: the first resurrection, the second resurrection, and the third heaven. I'm going to go to the book of Judgment, chapter 2, verse 1. The book of Judgment, chapter 2, verse 1. Verse 1, God, ambassador of Jehovah. You hear that? So God here is identifying himself as an ambassador of the creator. Jehovah is the creator, and that's the creator's name. OahspeCollegeUniversity describes the creator as Jehovah. I'm going to read on. God, ambassador of Jehovah, says, you shall assemble for the communion of angels regularly and maintain intercourse with them, for in no other way can you demonstrate the immortality of the soul, which is continued life of the spirit. You see, so an angel called God, who has the title, the mantle of God, is identifying himself as an ambassador of the creator. What that means is that he's only serving the creator in the lower heaven, or wherever he sits in the heavenly kingdom for a period of time. After that, this God is going to go back to his homeland, his heavenly kingdom in Ethiopia, where he belongs. You see that? And that's what creates a lot of confusion. Some people don't know that God is a title. And you know, in this chapter, God has just identified himself as an ambassador, and that's why my title came about. So this title came about as an ambassador because that's what these angels do. And a prophet, one of the prophet example is God. God is an ambassador, and that's why my video came about. The angel ambassadors. Who are these ambassadors? Who are they? What are they? And God is one of them. And God is in charge of our world right now. And they have female angels who are also in charge. And of course, those are ambassadress. You know, so that's the opposite of a male angel. So I'm going to go to the book of Judgment, chapter 3, verses 2 to 3, and to show you what God, an ambassador, the ambassador of the creator, described himself as. Book of Judgment, chapter 3, verse 2 to 3. Verse 2, behold, I am your elder brother. You hear that? Even as captain of this earth and our heavens for a season. As I am, even so were my predecessors in the time of the ancient. You see that? So, what verse 2 is really telling us right now is that, because you have some people who don't understand this at all. They don't get it. They think that God has been ruling us. It's been just one God. And what verse 2 is telling you is that one, God is an elder brother. And if you've not watched my video on 24 elders, you should go watch it. In there, I give a basic breakdown of all elders that have ruled our planet from the beginning of time. And when I say beginning of time, I'm talking about from the creation of man. In verse 2 of the book of Judgment, chapter 3, God is saying, behold, I'm your elder brother, even as a captain of earth and heavens for a season. You see, just for a season now. And as I am, even so were my predecessors in the time of the ancients. So predecessors is saying the people before, the gods and goddesses before me are your elders. You see? And finally, in verse 3, it says, God said, ambassadors of the Most High Jehovah. You see that? So, angel ambassadors are God and also goddesses that have ruled. And also remember, previously, in the book of Jehovah, chapter 8, verse 14 to 15, and you remember where it says in verse 14, where it says, my angel ambassadors, gods and goddesses shall render up the records of this heavenly kingdom. So yeah, connects everything. Verse 3 from the book of Judgment, chapter 3, is saying, ambassador of the Most High, Jehovah. And God is describing himself as an elder brother, and he's telling you that those who were captains of this earth and the heavens for a season, and the people before him, in other words, those who ruled when he took over, are also elders and the ambassadors. So here you have it. So if you've not watched my video on 24 elders, it gives you a breakdown of all these 24 elders. And just to recap, I'm just going to put it down there. I have a chart here, so I'll just give you the chart of those who ruled. And these are all the angel ambassadors that have ruled our world, starting from the time of sanctities, when they came down, when the host of angels with sanctities came down to come have sex with Asu. And 24 of them so far are considered angel ambassadors, because they came for a period of time. So on this chart, I'm just going to do a breakdown summary, because I already did a video on 24 elders, so you could go check and watch that video and learn from that, and you could go to the website and read on your own. So the first cycle was Sanctities. After that was Amchon. The third cycle was Huli. Right after that was Simpe Aban. After that was Paradise. After that was Goyamank. After that was Goyampen. After that was Aisin. During the ninth cycle was Sintu Sisios. And after that was Miseletu V. After that you got Kobat. After that you got Faiz. After that you have Saint Antanes. After that you have Tom Sentaga. After that you have Nemaas. And after that you have Nef. And after that you have Amp. And it was during this time of Amp when the world was destroyed. The continent of Pan around that time was destroyed, and the angel ambassador in charge and responsible during the act of Nohi was Hamp. He was around and he was in charge, and it was during this time that they destroyed the continent of Pan. And it was no Noah's boat, it was no flood, it was basically a continent that was destroyed during the 17th Ark Cycle, and the angel ambassador during that time was Hamp. After that, you've got Suhi. After that, you got Apollo. After that, you got Thor. And after Thor, you have Osiris, which is a popular name that a lot of people know. In fact, Apollo, before that, the angel ambassador Apollo is a popular name, and I'm sorry, Thor was a popular name before Thor was Apollo. And so during the 19th cycle, you've got Apollo, who is a popular name in our world today. And this was an angel ambassador who ruled for 2,800 years. And after Apollo got Thor, Thor is another popular name. What's so funny is that fallen angels started using these names, you know. And the 21st cycle was Osiris. And after Osiris was Phagapati. This name existed in India. So if you go look into the spiritual book in India, you see that name Phagapati. Now this is an amazing angel ambassador who ruled for 3,100 years. If you have not read the book of Phagapati, I encourage you to go watch it. And right after that, you've got Simta Amaj, who came during the cycle of Spita, and she ruled for 2,400 years. And after that was angel ambassador Lika. Lika ruled for 3,400 years. So far we've had 24 ambassadors, and these were the angel ambassadors that the Creator sent down to come manage our world for a period of 3,000 years on the average. Some of them ruled for 2,700 years, 2,900 years. You can clearly see on the chart. I would not describe or talk about the 25th Ark Cycle, because that cycle started in 1848. And the female angel in charge right now is Chi Simva Anatonis, because we're currently in the Cosmos cycle, so I cannot talk more about it because the cycle is not finished, because we're in the year 2020 and the cycle started in 1848. So these were the angel ambassadors that represented us, manage our world. They make sure that our world reach a starting time of maturity, and they brought knowledge, technology, science to us. Amazing angels. You've got to go read the book of OahspeCollegeUniversity to get a clear understanding of what these angels did. Amazing angels. Sometimes, just reading the book of OahspeCollegeUniversity and when they talk about these angels, I begin to fascinate things, and I was like, wow, these angels are powerful. Amazing angels. Brothers and sisters, here you have it. Angel ambassadors. Their function, their title, you have it on the chart. Clearly, as you can tell from the book of Judgment, chapter 3, verse 2 to 3, God identified himself as an ambassador. So, here you have it. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Bye-bye now.